Good morning and welcome to this edition of the main Lobster Pod tournament. I'm Phineas Samuelson, joined by Mike Letting and Maxime Brumiel here in the broadcast scaffolding. Mike, how are you doing this morning?
Doing well. How about yourself?
Doing quite well, thanks. Looking forward to kicking off this tournament with BU Uprising and Bowdoin College Chaos Theory.
Should be a good matchup to get us started here on our live stream.
Absolutely, and as we were talking earlier, Mike, this game, this tournament has huge implications because with club and national tournaments being delayed a year with the pandemic, we're double dipping with nationals. So this tournament means a whole lot in terms of getting the first and second year players up to speed before nationals coming up in December.
Yeah, that's true. That's a different wrinkle. Usually this is a tournament where teams just come, shake off the rust, get their new players integrated. As you know, Club Nationals is this weekend too, so some of their top level players won't be here, but like you said, Nationals is on December 7th and then Nationals again in April, so you know, you're going to see teams probably play a little harder, get up to speed a little quicker here today than they normally would at this tournament.
Absolutely. So for BU Uprising, their roster is number 11, Abby Lee. 44, Abigail Taylor. Number 4, Amanda Burke. Number 32, Amanda Centuria. Number 5, Ava R. Number 6, Avinsur Uldeg. Number 69, Beverly Liu. Number 15, Carmen Chung. Number 10, Chiu Ting Poon. Number 8, Dasha S. Number 14, Eliana B. Number 1, Elizabeth Diamond. Number 2, Elizabeth Wu. Number 7, Gia Johnson. Number 3, Gia Musu Soon.
One more person on our roster.
Yeah.
We might miss.
Sorry, we'll take a quick break
Thank you.
for Bowdoin. Number 21, Jordan Nickerson. Number 12, Katrina Tremagulo. Number 99, Maya B. Number 88, Olivia Tom. Number 33, Phoebe Lesk. 15, Presley Simmons. Simmons will be sitting this tournament out. Number 23, Sage Fuller. Number 5, Sarah Yon. Number 27, Sue Min Lee. Number 20, Sophie Bowdoin. Number 36, Tanvi Argual. Number 9, Tiffany Truong. Number 0, Valeria Oriana. Number 13, Zuri Shu. Number 22, Zoe Thomas. And to round out Boston University, number 59, Zoe Liu.
For Bowdoin, we have number 0, Lizzie Gracie. Number 4, Allie Niles. Number 10, Madison Fairfield. Number 15, Miranda Viederman. Number 7, Kat Daly. Number 11, Julia Cater. Number 12, Lily Fanberg. Number 2, Chelsea Moody. Number 8, Tor Parker. Number 21, Maddie Tees. Number 13, Emma Jacobs. And number 1, Grace Feigl.
Should be a good matchup to kick off this set of games here, streaming on the main Ultimate YouTube channel.
We should point out what you can't see from here is there's 35 fields out here. There's a men's upper division, women's upper division, men's lower, women's lower. Is there a mixed as well, or no mixed this year?
As I understand it, there's no mixed this year. But no, to your point, Mike, it's been amazing to see the growth of this tournament from its inception. As the siren indicates, we'll be underway shortly.
BU just broke their huddle. They're taking the field. Now Chaos Theory's getting all fired up before their first point. Off we go. We should point out these are games to 13. Hard cap is at 90 minutes. There's one timeout and a floater. And as we get going here, we'll explain some more of the rules and nuances of the game as we get underway.
Yep. Uprising will pull from right to left across your screen. They will look to be unsatisfied with the first offering.
Bowdoin tried to throw out a junk disc out there, and BU was not having it. Pulsars are not used in play. You know, this segment brought to you by Pulsar.
Trying to slip a fast one in on BU. BU wise to the.
BU starting out on defense. Yep. They're going to pull to Bowdoin here on offense. You can.
Some clarifying.
You might get thrown out though.
Just some quick points of order here.
If we need them to back up a little, we'll have them back up a little. If we need it for camera stuff match, just let us know.
Yep. So Mike, it is a little windy. I wonder if BU will come out in a zone right off the opening pole.
I think they'll come out here and person, test their legs out to start.
The pole is up, and it's a good one. Bowdoin coming out in a vertical offense, and as you pointed out, Mike, BU coming out in a person defense. Its strike throw is completed.
Got a call here. Looks like a pick.
It's no contest from.
So for folks that aren't familiar with the game, a pick is like in basketball when you actually turnover. Looks like that was a stall, so they got to stall 10 before Bowdoin got rid of the disc. BU's possession.
BU looking like quick work, but looked like that throw didn't have quite the curve that they were that Elizabeth Diamond was looking for on that one. It stayed out of bounds, but Bowdoin will take it from in the shadow of their own end zone.
Ooh, nice D by BU.
Good defense there from BU, and they're not knocking on the doorstep. It would be a huge break for their D to come out and
Ting Poon with the D and the score. Number 10 for BU.
Is that bookends?
It is bookends. Yep. Get the D and get the score right after. 1-0 BU.
So for those unfamiliar, bookends is where you create the turnover and then score. It would be the equivalent of a pick six in football. As Bowdoin looking to answer here.
Bowdoin's coach out there giving a little instruction before this next pull. For folks at home, you've got 90 seconds to put a hand up before the disc starts. Something to keep an eye on, because a lot of teams usually take about a half an hour, and then they end up costing themselves like 3 or 4 points in the match.
I think with it being as early as it is, I think a little bit of leeway can be given.
Good day for Frisbee too. It's not too cold. It's not going to get too hot. I think it's supposed to be about a high of 55 degrees, so it's actually pretty nice ultimate Frisbee weather for this late in the fall. But of course, the cold spell comes right after we had another heat run here in Maine for the last week. All right, Bowdoin has a hand. BU will pull.
Pull is up, and it is
Olivia Tom with the pull, number 88.
Yep, force is called away. So,
ooh, nice break.
And Bowdoin looking to put it up immediately. That will be
beautiful.
That will be Allie Niles for Bowdoin. It's a great response using a quote unquote 4-person play.
Well, that was a nice offense by Lizzie Gracie there, number 0. The handler that got it to Lizzie was kind of that inside out flick to the break side. unmarked huck up the sideline, thrown to space perfectly. Receiver just had to run under it. 1-1.
Yep. You saw Bowdoin execute that play perfectly once you getting to the open side and then working up the field.
For folks not familiar with the game, usually when a team is in person, they're forcing a certain direction. So either where their stuff is home side, the away side of the field is away. So usually your defender is kind of fronting to that force side, expecting the mark not to let that break off. If that break gets off, it's pretty much an open throw and catch because your defender's on the other side of the field. Now you have all that space that you can just run to for an easy score. That's exactly what Bowdoin did right there. Half will be at 7, 1-1.
BU looking to answer here. So start off the game well, getting a quick easy D point, and then we get to see their offense for the first time. As a pole will roll across.
Nice roller.
Stopped up by G Monson.
BU was looking to huck right off the bat.
Yep, nice in cut from Dasha S.
If you saw that collision in the middle field, that's a perfect opportunity to call a pick.
It remains uncalled.
BU in a vertical stack, a lot of handler play.
Yep.
Beating him with the up the line dump cuts.
Yep.
Oh, nice D by Bowdoin. Number 14, Julia Cater with the D.
Yeah, it looked like Tiffany Truong was the intended recipient there, but as you were saying, Mike, good defense there. Right. Pick is called.
Yeah, for those viewing at home, a pick, when you're running through the stack and you impede somebody's ability to cut, you can call a pick. Unlike it being legal in basketball, it's illegal in the sport of ultimate frisbee. Everything's short right now for Bowdoin. Floaty turnover, BU off possession.
Yeah, it looked like Bowdoin had the momentum there, but BU will get a chance here to.
I think you're right, Finn. The wind is bothering them a little bit to start. It's not a huge wind, but it's just enough to keep that disc floating.
Yeah, because you've seen with a couple of the easier throws just get caught up in the wind and hang up for a little bit longer than both offenses would care to see. And it looked like that throw from Shiri Shu would just hung up a little bit too long, and Bowdoin will get a chance to break here. Good look at him from Miranda Viederman.
Nice read by the Bowdoin receiver.
That was good there from Allie Niles.
The taped-on numbers are already falling off the backs of their shirts.
It looked to be Grace Feigl.
We got a wide-open receiver.
Yep. And it looked like they had Siri Shu open in the end zone, but it looked like the throw didn't have quite the spin that they were looking for.
Yeah, that was an unfortunate mistake by number 9, Tiffany Trong. You've got a wide open receiver, take your time and knock that in there. Just kind of rushed it a bit.
So look to see what Tor Parker has to offer here with the Bowdoin offense. Good upline cut.
Julia floaty pass. Ooh,
yeah.
Wow.
Good work there from Allie Niles. She already has a score for Bowdoin. As Grace Feigl.
Allie Niles going long.
Yep. Yeah, it looked like Viederman's throw just bladed a little bit too much.
Yeah, throws haven't been crisp to start the match. I think folks are putting a little too much angle on it, trying to take the wind into consideration, but the wind's not that big enough. You can flatten that out and throw it out to space down the line. Nice job getting it off the line by BU. Ooh.
It looks like Looks Sun is calling for people to go long as the pass is completed up there to Tuller. Tuller will give it back into the stack. Throw comes on. Good handler movement here from BU. As the throw is dropped by Shu, and Parker will take over for Bowdoin. So with these longer points, you maybe just want to slow things down a little bit as the intended receiver Viederman just unable to catch up to it, and we'll have another turnover. But,
spacing hasn't been great by either team to start the game, so there's really no place to get the disc into. They're not able to get into some good flow yet. See how that stack is bunched up in the middle of the field? They're way too tight there. Not giving themselves good angles to cut from.
No, and it looks like the it's as you were saying, Mike. The stacks breaking now. You're getting multiple cuts at the same time. It was a good throw completed there to Olivia Tom. Tom will get it up to.
It's all handler action right now. They've got their spacing figured out here.
Right idea. Looked like nobody was home though. As
we've seen that a couple times from BU on this drive. Get it up the field, work it up well, and just a little impatient around the goal line. Get those end zone eyes and try to force something in there rather than wait for it to develop. Getting some tired legs out there as this point goes on.
Yep, and with these longer points, you just want to take those easy throws as it's completed to Viederman.
Oh, nice cut.
No, it's as you were saying, really excellent cut there from Allie Niles, and it is it's a score. It's completed to Zhu, and it is 2-1 in favor of BU.
Yeah, long point. Both teams have small rosters. That point's going to take a toll.
I think if you're Bowdoin on this point, you're looking for that quick score to answer here.
And for young players, as you watch that point unfold, some of the throws aren't that crisp right now. Throw. Get out in the yard with your parents or your brother or your sister or your teammates and just throw backhands, throw flicks, nonstop. That's how you get those throws, and then they're just second nature in the game. 15 there, Miranda was kind of trying to force that in, got a little tight on the throw and bladed it short. But again, it's early season, first tournament of the year.
Early season, early morning. It's cold. It's cold for the first time, and
very true.
In forever. But no, I think as the tournament goes along, and even as this game goes along, we'll see those throws start to tighten up. As BU will hear from left to right across your screen.
You see those flags? The wind is still ripping, kind of a crossfield wind, huh? You can see from the Bowdoin folks that are choosing to go shorts and t-shirts there. Chilly, waiting for the pull.
I think once they get moving, they'll be fine. But no, you're right. It's got to be brutal. Just standing there as the pull is top of still in a vertical stack with two handlers.
Oh, send that.
And as Mike said, it was
nice
sent,
job.
And it was caught by Maddie Teese, and I think they're
saying she caught it out and ran it in, bringing it back to the front of the end zone. Let's see if she has the patience here to take advantage of that nice huck.
Yeah, it looks like there's still a little bit of discussion as to if it was in or not. But no, Mike, I think you were right that she caught it out, took one or two steps in, so they're
nice job.
And it is completed, and it's completed to Emma Jacobs.
So nice little ISO there to the handler at the front of the stack. Take a quick step to the break side, defender overcommits, and then just step right back to the open side and just easy flick in for the score. That was nice offense by Bowdoin.
Yeah, I think that was, and after the last one, I think that's just what the doctor ordered.
And it's nice to see him, get some of those long throws up, open up the field spacing a little bit. Pulls have been short to start the day. You wonder if that's wind conditions, which, as you see the flags whipping around, are pretty heavy, or is that, the puller is on some club team at Nationals right now and not here, so other folks are getting a chance to work on their pulls. But that's key to the game, especially from a defensive perspective. If you're getting those pulls off and they're 30, 40 yards short, you're just giving up field position. You really need somebody on your team that can pull it within 10 yards of the end zone, if not all the way into the end zone.
Yep. But I think this tournament is the perfect spot to work out those kinks. So by the time Nationals rolls around in December, you have
100%.
those people who can put it within, put it out either out the back of the end zone or.
Only thing on the line here is trophies and cash. What's the top team win? $1,000? Is it $500?
I think it's $1,000. Yeah.
Mike, do you know that $1,000 to the winners?
I think it is. As we have
our fourth man in the booth, Mike Callahan, down there, who is giving us stats and will be taking over in the second half as I go watch some of my kids play for a bit. Here we go, Bowdoin with the pull.
Yep. No, it's as you're saying, the pull comes right up around midfield, so that will set up BU with excellent field position.
Nice J cut by number 14.
Yeah, that's Eliana B.
Ooh.
Look, there might have been some cross up there, and
tried to throw it in a tight space. Bowdoin defender was right there on their person. 14 going long. Pick called.
The intended target was Lizzie Gracie.
It doesn't matter if it was before the throw there and a pick. If that player right there wasn't impacted. What's up, guys? How you doing? We're on a feed here, you clowns.
As the throw coming here from the near side, it goes through the fingers there of Chelsea Moody, and BU will take over.
What's up, dude?
Comes into Elizabeth Diamond. Diamond will survey the field. Good in cut there. Will come across and is taken by Elizabeth Wu. Wu for uprising. Will complete to Eliana B. Good defense there.
That's the second time this possession BU's tried to get into a tight spot.
Yep. But it looked like Bowdoin was equal to the task.
I like what Bowdoin's doing right now. They're having long and short looks simultaneously as they're cutting. There's a map right there.
Gracie completed. It's completed to Jacobs. Jacobs looking to find Gracie. Gracie grabs it. Wide open. And it looks like Shield is throwing, and that will curve up and out of bounds. BU will take over. Looked like Jacobs there right at the end got those end zone eyes, and
apologize for that as we're running the information booth. So they went for a shot long.
They did but Bowdoin set up nicely here in the shadow of their own end zone.
The wind's pushing out towards us here in the booth, so if you're going to do something down the sideline there, you've got to blade it back inside. If you let it fade, it's going to push out of bounds like it did right there. That's a nice kiss.
Excellent throw, even though it wasn't completed. Now you've put the disc all the way on the other side of the field.
Good field position play.
Yeah, I really like that throw. You had multiple cups there, but it's complete to Viederman. Viederman, just up and off the fingers there of Juliana Katter. But Jian Sun will take over for BU. Good defense out the back there by Emma Jacobs. So that will be Jacobs and Allie Niles. Sorry, correction. Tor Parker will set up out the back, handling for Bowdoin.
Number 8's got a call for that. Standing right there, completely poached at the dump. Get that swing off, change field position, use the entire field.
Wu will give it back to the far sideline. Diamond.
Nice throw by Diamond.
And Wu looking all the way to the end zone. Intended target Eliana B cannot
A little
get
too
there.
strong. Yep, that was nice flow. Just a little too strong right there. Good movement by BU on that possession.
Yeah, but I really do. I like that throw there from Wu because even if it wasn't completed, they're on their own goal line, and now BU has a whole field to go. There's Jacobs. Jacobs to Viederman. Back to Parker. It looked like Viederman and Jacobs cross up, and Parker will put
Good
it
job by
in.
BU getting a short field turnover. Let's see if they can take advantage of it.
Was with Wu here for uprising. Wu to Diamond. Diamond has their options. Really got a whole field. It looks like they've
Nice
morphed
job.
into somewhat of a vertical sack. Wu to
Ooh,
Parker.
nice grab by Diamond.
Good strike cut there from Wu.
Nice patience by
Yep.
Diamond.
Just couldn't complete it over there, but I like that handler movement from BU there.
And again, like you said earlier, now Bowdoin's got to go 70 yards back to get a score, so they're winning the field position battle right now. Like to see Bowdoin stop turning it over on the short side, take a chance with a big throw. If you don't get it off, at least you get some field position back. But here they're moving it well.
Jacobs to Catter. Back to Jacobs. Jacobs
Perfect.
will throw long to Parker. Parker is still unmarked as of now. No.
Rich Young,
Good.
the president of
Good.
Maine
Oh,
Ultimate,
dropped
confirms
by
it's
Gracie
$1,000
and
to the winner of each division out of his own pocket. Do we have a mixed division this year?
Throw goes long for
How many
Eliana B.
teams? 67 teams.
Eliana back to Diamond.
That's a nice
Diamond-
throw.
Diamond finds Eliana B, and BU will go up 3-2.
BU's starting to take some of the momentum here. Bowdoin did a nice job of changing field position, then BU quickly countered and came right back down the field for the score. Elizabeth Diamond had a strong point moving the disc on that possession for BU.
The Elizabeths on that point for BU, Elizabeth Diamond and Elizabeth Wu, really did a good job of keying off each other in order to work it down the field. Once you started getting into those longer throws, you had field position change a couple times.
Starting to do a better job with their spacing too. They're spacing out their stack better, so you're not seeing multiple cuts to the same space, kind of eroding their flow. So they're starting to really space out the field nicely and just kind of make easy throws to space and let their receivers run to it.
As Bowdoin will look to answer here. So I think if you're chaos there, I think you want to take a little bit of that chaos away, and look to clean things up. Take those nice easy throws, just work it down the field.
Yeah, right now, what Chaos Theory is doing, all their cuts are pretty short. They're starting from kind of the front of the stack, and their cuts are only like 5 yards in front of the person that's handling the disc. Short pull by BU. They gotta space those out more. Let's see what they come out with here.
Picked up. It looks like they're doing a little better job extending the field, as it is. It's caught by Jacobs. Jacobs for Chaos Theory. We'll give it back to the middle.
Oh, nice find.
Good throw to Kat Daly. Good
Nice D by BU.
good defense by Siri Shu.
Love to see a big throw go up here. Nope.
Yeah, it looked
Bowdoin
like
did a good job stopping it. Bowling alley cut. Nice job by 24.
Yep.
A little too much float on that throw there. Right idea.
BU still in good position here to take a break and go up by 2. Good undercut by Kat Daly. The throw.
Another D by Bowdoin. Number 24.
As I think we might have had a call, but they're going to discuss it here.
Are they trying to say the defender caught the disc and then put it down? Because I didn't see it that way. I don't think the defender stopped rotation. I think they just swatted the disc down and kind of came in and dropped it. But to me, that's not stopping rotation and then putting it on the ground, which would be a turnover.
No, from my vantage point as well, it looked like she just kind of swatted the disc down and. No, Mike. I think you're right. They're talking about if she completely stopped rotation and then dropped it, which would technically be a turnover, but looks like Bowdoin's not going to contest that, and BU will take over on offense.
That's the great thing about the game of ultimate frisbee too. It's dictated by the spirit of the game. Make your own calls, talk about it professionally on the field, and then kind of leave it out there, come to agreement, and move on. Try to get into a tight space there. Turnover. Bowdoin takes possession.
This is Jacobs here for Bowdoin. We'll take over here on the near sideline. Good throw, just unable to complete it there to the cutter receive. As Tam.
Nice defense by Bowdoin.
I like the look there, but just hung up a second too long. As we're starting to get into those longer points, and Daly streaking down here the near sideline.
Another turnover by Bowdoin there. BU is going to take possession, about 15 out from the end zone.
Olivia Tam here for Uprising pinned up against the sideline.
Nice reset. Nice job changing field position.
Shu on the shy of her own end zone. We'll throw it up. Good job there by Tuller to keep possession.
Score for BU.
And a good job there by BU to keep it down there at the tail end of a pretty long point to go up by a score of 4-2.
We've got a timeout by Bowdoin here, so they're going to take some time, get their legs together, and regroup, get some water, get back out there.
I like that. I like that timeout call. That you've had a couple points that gone on for an extended period of time. It's pretty early in the morning. Just take a moment, get some water, get your legs back under you.
Finn, who's this timeout brought to you by from a sponsorship standpoint?
This timeout is brought to you by Moe's Original Barbecue, with locations in Portland and South Portland. Mike, for all my barbecue needs, I go to Moe's.
Fantastic barbecue at Moe's. Absolutely fantastic. I think they've got some big team deal here too at the end of the day, where you can pay a fee and get like a feast for your entire team to bring home to your hotel or wherever folks are staying. So yeah, definitely hit up Moe's if you're in the market for barbecue. I think right now,
Sorry, our apologies. Number 14 for BU is Escher Gilbert.
They had turned in a roster with her name as Elena B. So maybe Esther wanted to go by her pseudonym. keep low on anonymity today at the tournament.
Well, it's been blown up now. So.
Well, let's hope she's not wanted for anything.
You know,
So, yeah.
I could think of. I really couldn't think of a better way for your cover to be blown, or attempting to hide, at an ultimate tournament in South Portland, Maine,
Via the live stream.
via the UMaine Ultimate YouTube live stream.
So about 30 minutes into the game, low scoring so far through that amount of time, 4-2 BU. Bowdoin's attempting to regroup, try something new on offense, and BU's looking to get another break, get towards half.
So I really like what I've seen from both teams in terms of their handler movement. It looks like that's starting to click. Especially between number 1 and number 2 for BU, Elizabeth Diamond and Elizabeth Wu.
Yeah, that's something Bowdoin will want to work on because they're getting beat up the line on those up line dump cuts. It's where you have that handler reset. If you overstride to stopping them coming behind, they can easily get you up the line. But then they've got an unopened throw to space, and they can get that handler movement going. Bowdoin needs to reset. Wall them off with your body, stop them going up the line, push them back, make sure those dumps are going backwards or out to the other side of the field. Because if they're going backwards, you still have a position where you can set the mark. If you're getting beat up the line, now they're catching it, they've got space, and they can just rip off an easy throw to space. And that's what they're doing. They're just kind of give and go. And that's the key for all handlers. Throw and go. Right when you're throwing that Frisbee, you're running. Throw, go. And the defenders have to know that, because if you get static on the flat-footed and they're throwing and going, you're giving up 5 yards of field position at a time, and BU's taking advantage of that.
No, it's a good point. I think if I'm either Tor Parker or Emma Jacobs, just be a little more assertive, because we saw a couple times where she was poached or unmarked. Could have wave your arms around a little bit more.
Definitely.
As we come out of the timeout here, BU will be pulling from right to left across your screen. See the Bowdoin offense here.
To your point earlier, though, Finn, I wonder when we are going to see our first zone point. We think as the game goes on, low numbers on the rosters, we got some wind. Maybe we see BU come out in the zone defense here. We'll see.
So we're waiting for the okay from Bowdoin. Looks like they're talking strategy over on the far sideline away from us. 56
right,
minutes and change. And that's Elizabeth Wu. And it will be Tor Parker. Good ink up there.
Bowdoin's come out with better movement here. They have multiple cutters cutting at the same time to different spaces of the field.
Yep. Pass could not be completed to Allie Niles, and BU will take over right around midfield.
Nice defense by Esther Gilbert there.
As Diamond will give it here to the near sideline. Wu to Diamond.
See, that's good defense by 14 right there. She didn't let them get upfield on the upline dump cut, forced them back. We might have an injury here to Kat Daly.
Play resumes. Diamond looking to...
Oh, what a grab.
What a layout.
Nice throw by Elizabeth Diamond, and again, gets that throw up with that up the line dump cut. Has space to throw, and a great layout there. I didn't catch that receiver's number. 5-2 BU over Bowdoin. Half is at 7.
It's number 15, Carmen Chung for BU.
That was a nice catch. Have the ability to stretch out there, make the grab, and hold it through, crushing down to the ground. Diamond's been impressive as a handler for BU.
Yeah, no, it was a really good job by Diamond to put it only where Chung could get it, and then even better job by Chung to lay out and go grab it to put the visitors up by 3.
And that's that throw and go right there too, coming out of that stoppage. Diamond caught their defender. I think Julia Cater was on Diamond and caught her flat-footed and beat the player up the line. And nice throw to space, another score. BU's got the momentum right now. Seem to have this game well in hand. Bowdoin's going to need to come down here on offense and get a score. This game could get out of hand here pretty quickly. Got about 54 minutes left in the game, and BU is 2 minutes from half.
Stopped up by Bowdoin, and they will take over from about the 35. Comes up, it is caught by Daly. Daly looking to put it. I like the thought, but it looked like there was nobody going. So quick turnover, and it will be.
Bowdoin needs a little more patience offensively. They're rushing their throws after they catch you out of the stack.
It's a throw by Tom is grounded, and Bowdoin will get a chance to test that patience. Good undercut, but the intended target Fairfield unable to come up with the catch. So it looks like it will be the pair of Olivia Tom and Sage Chuller back handling for Uprising.
So that's great dump defense right there by Bowdoin. Didn't fall for the behind, tried to bring it up line, stayed right there, walled it off with the body, got the turnover.
Parker will look to get it off the far sideline. Good secondary cut. It's caught by Feigl. Feigl to Parker. Parker.
Nice
We'll
find.
Good job by Kat Daly to just to hang out the back of the stack and then float into that open space.
Yeah, nice pass by Tora Parker there. Throw it out and in, get the score. That was a great answer by Bowdoin. They sorely needed that point. It's now 5-3 BU.
No, to your point, Mike. It looked like all the momentum was going BU's way. They had a couple turns at that point, and it could have absolutely gotten out of hand. They could have just rode that momentum into half, but.
That's true. That's frustrating for BU, and you can see it on their faces as they come off the field and head back to the line.
Looks like a bit of a missed opportunity here, but good work by Bowdoin to get one back and to draw within 2.
How many games are we doing today? We have 5?
I believe we have 4 scheduled. No, it's correct.
Five,
We're doing 5.
Last round starts at 4?
Yep. We're doing 5 games. Last one starts at 4.
Yep.
I think that's where I.
Oh yeah. By the way, Rich Young, we're still waiting for those breakfast sandwiches. So, the unpaid help is starving. So if you could get 4 breakfast sandwiches over here, stat, that would be appreciated. Get one for our stat guy, Mike Callahan, as well.
This food break brought to you by the Portland Pie Company.
Awesome pizza, so good. Little beer crust. We got a flick pull here.
No, it's not often you see a flick pull, but I like the offering as Wu will set up the BU offense here. Right
Elizabeth Diamond to make the first cut back a stack.
Like the
error by the BU handler there, slowing down the flow. You don't need to check that in there. You can just pick it up and get it going.
Yep, as that'll be just over the head of Daly and Wu and the BU offense will get another chance.
Ooh, nice grab by Diamond. Oh, looking for the deep throw.
just out of the reach of Abby Lee.
like it.
But that second time, no, Wu just took it up and threw it.
Changes the field position. Diamond has that throw, obviously, as you saw there.
Looked like there might have been a pick call as Viderman was.
See, this is what I don't like what Bowdoin's doing. See Diamond kind of poaching there in the middle, leaving that swing right open. Just take that swing. Take that free swing to the side handler, and then swing your cuts over there. They're still trying to force their cuts kind of up the middle with the poached defender in their way.
No, it looked like Gracie. Gracie kind of floated back, which would allow for Diamond to just come on down as this is turned up and over.
Bowdoin's trying to work it up the break side of the field. That's hard to do. I mean, like you said, it's early in the season. You want to practice stuff. You've got to break the mark in this sport to play at a high level. But take what the defense is giving you.
Diamond will put up is completed down the far sideline.
That's Gilbert again. If our live stream information is correct. Nice D by Kat Daly.
But I liked what BU was doing there. Kind of get a little dump and swing action.
It's nice form by Kat too. I tell all the young players that I coach, when you're defending somebody that's cutting, the tendency for the cutter is to slow down and not run through the disc. Right when they slow down, speed up. There's an opportunity to get that blow by D.
Good strike by Jacobs. Well caught by Fanberg.
Oh, what a grab!
What a catch
grab
by
Miranda.
Viderman for the score, and Bowdoin pulls to within one.
That was big. That was big for Bowdoin.
That was big. That's back-to-back points for them. Good break by Bowdoin's defense. And they're right back in this game.
You're starting to see frustration creep into the faces of the BU players as well.
And it's understandable. They had their offense flowing. You had a couple good throws, a little good give and go action between Diamond, between Wu, and then to have Bowdoin just come right back and score on you, it's got to be frustrating. As we welcome you into the broadcasting scaffold here at the Maine Ultimate Lobster Bot Tournament, Maine's premier college ultimate tournament.
There you go, Chaz.
And Bowdoin will pull from right to left across here. Across your screen here. I think if you're B, you just want to calm things down. Nice. Yeah, get a couple of nice easy throws. And punch it in here. Get yourself set up nicely for half.
Yeah, get back to what was working for you. I think right now BU's kind of rushing it a bit. They're getting it, and then you've got that 10 seconds of a stall count to get the disc off, but they're just kind of grabbing it, throwing it right away. Take a little more time, set your feet, get a crisp throw off.
Pull from Jacobs is up. It's a little short. It will fall right around midfield. Sage Tuller for uprising. It's up and looks like it's dropped. Maybe getting those players some touches. And Bowdoin will
go long.
Instead, they opt to go underneath.
Bowdoin's throws are getting a little more crisp. That's a great read set by Viderman.
Yep. Gracie. Oh, I like that. I like that look, but just unable to get that last completion.
That's exactly what we just talked about. Take that one extra second, let that cut develop a little more, then snap off that throw, and you've got a goal.
As Tuller will take over here for the uprising offense. Good deflection by Truong. Truong back to Tuller. Working into the middle of the field toward Shu. Zhu will give it to Tram. sorry, correction, that's Olivia Tom.
Floaty Huck goes up.
It's up, and good defense there by Viderman. Look, it just hung up a little bit too long, but ultimately, Bowdoin will give it right back. And so it will be Olivia Tom, and the BU offense will set up about 25 yards out from their own end zone. Good recovery there by Viderman.
Yeah, that just, you know, need a little more patience there. Kind of grabbing it, throwing it right away before anything's developed.
So Lizzie
Take your time,
Gracie.
let those cuts develop. Now Bowdoin has to come back down like 70 yards to score. This would be a huge break for Bowdoin.
Julia Catter on the near sideline. We'll give it to Gracie. 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 We'll give it to Emma Jacobs. Jacobs. Back to Gracie. Gracie working near the middle of the field. Looks like you threw it in between three cutters. Tom.
BU has a deep cut to start.
Tom on the near side, and we'll complete it to Tiffany Truong. We'll give it back to Tom. Tom. Looks like it just floated up and over,
Niles
intercepted.
with the D, looks to go long. A little too long for 14 there.
A little bit too long, but again, she could have just taken that extra second. It's, you know, understand still early in the season. But again, just taking that extra, you have 10 seconds.
And no mark on you. Receiver wide open. Give it a couple more seconds to develop. Make a good throw. Bowdoin has really picked up their defensive intensity. They're stopping that up the line dump cut, making everything hard for BU right now.
Sounds like there might have been a foul.
Could be a stall call as well. I think we got a contested stall call here. This will be coming in at stall 8. B is going to have to get rid of the disc quickly here. Nice job.
Good work by BU, because with those concessions, all you have such a limited time to get up come up into the middle of the field. It's all right.
BU's stack is too bunched up. It's making it hard for offense. Bowdoin's shutting down on the resets, so they're not getting that handler flow. Bowdoin looks to tie it up here.
No, it's what you're mentioning right before this turnover, that Bowdoin's defense has really started to clamp down on BU's offense, as looks like Gracie's throw intended for Jacobs just out of reach. There's a call from the near sideline that BU's stack is perhaps a little bit out in no person's land.
But I also think you're right, Finn. I think BU's got some of their newer players that they're trying to integrate into the program here out there, which before you get proficient, makes it hard to move the disc. But that's how you learn to play the game. Nice throw.
Just a little bit too long. Intended target there, Tiffany Truong.
From Olivia Tom. Olivia Tom's been having a nice game. Strong throws.
I think if BU is going to go far at sectionals, go far at nationals, as good throw there, turned over by Bowdoin, and BU with a chance to seize a little bit of that momentum back. The throw is up. It is just out of the reach there. Intended target.
Bowdoin dodged a bullet there. You have a short field drop, only 10 yards away from your end zone, and then BU gives it right back. When you're this close to the end zone, if you don't think you're going to get it off, nice grab by Niles. You just want to jack it, get field position back. Turning over near your goal line is a killer.
Yep. Jacobs. Oh, looks like it just. Look, the intended target was Gracie, but it just hung up, and it will come back to Jacobs. She has Viederman. So it'll come up, and it's completed there to Julie Catter. Catter.
Nice up the line cut.
Look, it took BU to realize that
There's that patience we were looking for.
Yeah,
Got
and
the unlined duck cup. Let the cut develop.
as Bowdoin will knot it up at 5.
A couple BU players having a conversation about it. I would say that Bowdoin has taken the momentum here.
I would have to agree with you, Mike. It's a really good response by Bowdoin. Looked like the game was potentially going to get away from them earlier.
Down 5-2, just ripped off 3 points in a row. I wonder if BU takes the time out here to try to slow things down.
I think if Bowdoin scores the next point, I would take a timeout. Maybe retalk some strategy. Maybe go through those fundamentals a little bit. Try and
BU is asking Bowdoin if they're a timeout while 2 of their players were standing in the end zone, having a conversation for about 5 minutes. Looked like you guys were in a timeout.
I like the strategy there from BU, trying to see if Bowdoin was sneaking an extra timeout in the half, burn that floater.
Zoo and Tom are visibly frustrated and making adjustments on the sidelines with their teammates.
But if you're BU, you're still in really good position. You've still anybody's half. 5-5. But I think if you're Bowdoin, you want to keep the good times going. Looks like they've worked out a couple of their kinks, and their defense has been outstanding.
Yeah, and if you're BU, got to get that disc back in Elizabeth Diamond's hand here. She's really been one of your most proficient handlers throughout the majority of this match, and their offensive points. Get her the disc in space and let the player send it deep, get some float. When Diamond's had some space to throw, especially in this direction, she's had a nice flick that's floated.
Especially with the wind blowing, the wind as pulls up, and again, Wu will set up short.
Diamond's going to the back of the stack to be the first cut again, it seems.
And she will cut up and under. Diamond has it.
They cut off that deep cut.
Like the patience, and just out of the reach of Wu. And Bowdoin will take over.
Wind is picking up here, getting a little chillier as well.
Parker will give it to Niles. Sounded like a pick was called.
This is where you really got to know the rules. That's a turnover. Whether it was called a pick or not, they still threw it. That should be BU's disc. Just comes back, do you have your new players up to speed with the rules? Does everybody know the rules of the game?
No, because
turnover by Bowdoin. So when you hear pick as a player, you don't want to throw the disc. And if you do throw it, somebody on your team has to catch it, because if it hits the ground, it's a turnover.
Wu has Diamond back.
Nice cut by Diamond.
To Diamond. Diamond will put it up long. Is just out of the reach there of Argual.
That's exactly what we were talking about. That nice flick by Diamond up the line to space. It was a good throw. Cutter just couldn't get there. Pushing Bowdoin back though. Been a nice answer by BU so far.
Looked like there might have been another call, but a really good job by BU's defense to stick with their people.
Yeah, and that was a pick at the front of the stack. Niles ran her Ran a person right through another defender in the line.
Good job there by Lizzie Gracie to track that disc down over here on the near
That was a great
sideline.
play by Gracie to keep that play alive.
Ooh. Just unable to find Parker there out the back end.
BU has to take advantage of this.
And Wu will set up on her own. Wu to Diamond.
Nice grab.
Score. Good answer. Nice cut by Diamond.
Nice ISO end zone play there. Just handler pick it up, have the dump go right to space, keep everybody static in the stack. You've got all that space right there, just throw it out to Diamond. She went and made a nice one-handed snag. That puts BU up 6-5. They will be pulling to take half.
Good response there by BU. You know, you just given up 3 in a row. It looked like Bowdoin was going to potentially storm back to take half, and good job playing some patient person defense, getting that look you want. And I think Diamond's been she's been BU's MVP of the half.
I would agree with that as well.
You know, really like the connection she's had with Wu, she's had with Olivia Tom.
Yeah, Diamond seems to have the best all-around throws on the team, has good patience, sees the field well. You know, sometimes you got to keep a player out like that. I know you got your split O lines and your D lines. Sometimes you just got to say, okay, you're staying out here. Let's take half. Want our best 7 people out here. Take half. Go from there.
Looks like she's come off for this one. Maybe give some other players a bit of playing time right before half.
Bowdoin will look to answer here, so BU doesn't get it to half right here.
Bowdoin ready. And it's another flick pull. It will roll back Bowdoin's
Wind is
way.
picking up.
And it will be Parker and Jacobs back. It looked like the wind just snagged it at the tail end, and it goes through Jacobs' arms, and it will be Tuller and the BU offense looking to take half here. Disc is in.
That's an F. Fuller. Bad handwriting by Mike Letting.
My apologies to Tuller, to Tuller and family, but BU turns it over.
It's Fuller. That's an F.
My apologies to the Fuller family. And it comes into Jacobs. And
that's a nice throw.
It was an excellent throw. Received there by Catter. Catter to Jacobs. Jacobs. Give it to Feigl.
Gets it back.
Feigl to Jacobs. Jacobs on her own end zone line. Put it up. Good defense there. Looked like she was trying to put it into a crowd, and it was defended well there by Gilbert.
Yeah, you want to reset that disc there. There was nothing upfield. Reset it, keep possession, call something else out of the stack. Bowdoin will get it right back.
Just out of the reach there of Truong. So I think if you're Parker here, you take a couple extra seconds. Looking to send it up. Oh, good bid there.
Nice bid by Bowdoin.
But it looks like it just caught a little too much of that wind and hung up and out the back of the end zone. Now will be Olivia Tom.
Nice poach by number 8. Good grab by 24.
Good grab over to Fuller. Fuller to Gilbert.
Good bid by Cat.
Fuller. Sorry, correction. Gilbert to Fuller. To Tom. Tom will put it up to Truong. Truong just off of her hands.
Oh, those sandwiches are here.
As we welcome
yeah.
Rich Young and the sandwiches into the broadcast scaffolding.
Croissants, bacon, egg, and cheeses, sausage, egg, and cheese.
We're
Can we
told
eat them on air?
we're told there's both croissant and as the throw is up, it is completed there to Julia Catter.
Cat Daly on the catch.
Yeah, I really like that cat to cat connection. Daly to
Nice look like by Jacobs. They just weren't on the same page with the cutter.
But I'm liking those. I'm liking those looks.
Rich, we have an actual scoreboard.
As Tom will put it up down the near sideline. The throw is up and it'll come to
He's
true
gonna
on.
come up with
Oh,
it.
look like it just missed. It was
Got to talk there. Two
yep.
players, they both could have caught the disc. No communication.
looked like a Gilbert and Truong there got crossed up. Come to Parker. Parker looking to find Jacobs.
Jacobs had a nice half.
Yep. Up to Feigl. Feigl just off of her hands.
So you're not going to use this one, right?
Nice flow.
It looks pretty. I think you should keep it.
I'll go put it on the field and watch it.
It's Tom.
That's been a long point.
Tom will give it to Zhu. Zhu will give it back to Fuller. Fuller up for Gilbert.
Nice put by Fuller.
Put it only where Gilbert could get it, because she had Daly draped all over her. I'll come to Tom.
BU's got some good movement going here.
Tom to Zhu. Zhu has Truong. Well, look, and she will put it up. And even better there, defense there by Jacobs. Jacobs give it to Parker. Parker back to Jacobs. Looks like that's Mason Fairfield out the back of Bowdoin stack.
You guys anything else?
I'm with the Bowdoin cutter. That's a bad call by BU. There was no pick there. All set, Rich Young. Thank you.
That's what I do.
I hear our YCC girls are beating up on somebody 7-1 at half.
Oh, God.
That's what happens.
Rich Young, the director of UMaine Ultimate, coming in clutch with breakfast sandwiches.
Ever been on tour, kid?
I do nothing.
Yeah, I know.
I think they're discussing the call, but no, I'm with you. I looked like the defender just got beat there.
And you know what the Bowdoin player is saying is, I waited and then cut when it was clear. Yeah, I didn't see a pick there, but.
Yeah. But I think in the spirit of the game, just contest it and move on.
Yep, I agree.
Move on with the game. So we have 26 minutes and change to go in this one. Score is 6-5 in favor of BU.
Ran into her intentionally after already being beaten on the cut is how I saw it. But we're back in play. Bowdoin turns it over. BU will take over. Trying to take half here. 6-5 BU.
It'll be Fuller for BU. We'll set up with Tom. Tom to Fuller. Looking for Truong out the. It looked like it was. Looked like some toe drag action there from Truong. Good upline cut from Zhu. Zhu will put it
Nice
to Fuller.
grab by Fuller.
Fuller to Tom. Tom to Fuller. Fuller just out of the reach of Tom, and Bowdoin will take over in the shadow of their own end zone, looking to go 70 yards upfield to try and tie it up right before half.
Niles trying to fire up the folks on the field to keep cutting, keep working. If I'm Bowdoin, I look to put something long here, not turn it over at the front of the end zone.
Parker, working in the middle of the field, will give it back to Jacobs. Jacobs, working down that far sideline, calling for a strike. Good hand block action there from Gilbert.
Yeah, see, I thought Cat Daly had steps coming out of the back of the stack. If I was Jacobs, I would have sent that flick. Worst case scenario, you've got 50 yards of field position.
Just a little bit too much muscle on that forehand there from Tom, and Bowdoin will get another chance to tie it up here.
I feel like Fuller's consistently traveling on her throws, catching, kind of sliding that pivot foot, and Bowdoin is letting her get away with it right now.
Tor Parker, set up here on the near sideline. Daly cutting underneath. Jacobs will give it to Daly. Daly covered by Sun. They will look like a little bit of miscommunication there. And I think if you're BU, just settle it down. As a strike up to Fuller to Tom.
They
Tom
take half.
to 24. What a score! And BU will take half.
That is half.
That
Yep.
is half.
Yep. I'm going to turn it over to Mike Callahan and go see some of my kids play here in the second half. So Mike Callahan will be joining the boys in the booth, and we'll be back.
So we will step away for a short half break, brought to you by Royal River Heat Pumps. Royal River Heat Pumps does it right. When we And welcome back to the Main Ultimate YouTube channel. I'm Phineas Samuelson, joined in the broadcast scaffolding by Mike Callahan. Now, Mike Letting had to take off to see his children participate in sports. So we are now joined by Mike Callahan. Mike, how you doing?
It's good to be here. Beautiful Wainwright complex in South Portland, a little overcast, little past peak foliage in southern Maine for some exciting college ultimate.
Absolutely. As we welcome you back into the second half of this match between Bowdoin College and Boston University. So in the first half, we've seen both offenses work out a little bit of their kinks, but we've really seen Bowdoin's defense come into their own.
Yes, they've seemed to have been able to diagnose and anticipate what the opposition is going to do and cut off their easy cuts, make their resets, which are supposed to be relatively easy, make those a lot harder, and just play with more effort. I mean, defense in Ultimate is about effort. You don't have to be a good Ultimate player to play good defense.
As BU looking to crack Bowdoin's defense will receive the second half pull, and they will set up right around midfield. And it'll be Elizabeth Diamond for Uprising. We'll give it to Bowdoin. But as you were mentioning off air, Bowdoin will give it back to Diamond. Diamond will put it up long.
Oh, good defense.
Good poach there by Lizzie Gracie, kind of baiting that throw.
Deflection.
What a deflection, and it comes back to Truong. Truong will give it over to Wu. Wu looking for Bowdoin out the back. Instead, we'll give it to Diamond. Diamond
and
in for the score.
We have another point. I'm telling you, this BU team really does have some exciting players. There's definitely some new faces. But as I overheard you and Mike saying about Diamond being their first half MVP, she's just this calming presence on the field. Just her presence on the field kind of brings everyone back. She's very good with the disc. She's smart with it, and it keeps her team kind of grounded and focused and relaxed, I find.
I think it's a very astute observation, because it seemed like at points that BU's offense was starting to run around a little bit like chickens with their heads cut off. Mm-hmm. Starting to say, oh cool, we got the disc, now we don't have to go score it. But Diamond was there to just ground that offense, make that simple cut, and BU up by 3.
And she is for sure their best deep thrower. And that's important. Even in the wind, you need to have that threat of saying, hey, we can go deep, because what that does is it doesn't let the defense just take away everything underneath or, more towards the disc. It makes them respect that you can throw it long.
Tom will put it up, and Bowdoin will take over on offense. Jacobs will give it to Niles. Niles will put it to Viederman. Good job there by Tom to take away that strike cut, as Jacobs will put it up.
And that's
looks like it was
accidental D.
A little unintentional defense there from Ziru Shu.
So if you've noticed number 15 on Bowdoin, their tallest player.
So that's Miranda Viederman, yes.
She is, we have a turnover.
It's through the hands of Abliu.
She looks like she's relatively new, but she has good field sense. In other words, she knows where to go on the field.
Jacob to Catter. Catter.
And we have another point.
We'll give it to Teese, and Teese in for the score for Bowdoin.
Oh, thank you. Got to remember to change that on the scoreboard.
A little bit of a mom and pop operation we've got going on here, and Bowdoin pulls back to within 2, and it is 8-6 with.
So Finn, have you noticed something largely about both these offenses as far as where they're going with the disc, right? They are almost exclusively using the force side. You see a couple of these break throws, and by break, I mean that the mark is on one side, the person guarding the disc, and you throw it in their direction around them to open up the field more. And both these teams are really exploiting the force side, which is hard to do because the idea behind the force, as you guys explained before, is to cut the field down in the amount of space you have to play defense.
No, it's because we saw a couple early points with BU that they were able to exploit, that they would get 1 or 2 breaks and then march the disc right up the field quite well. But no, you're right. I think just because it's early in the season that you see a couple, you're still able to get away with working the disc up the force side. But I think as we get closer to nationals and as these teams kind of figure their defenses out, that you see fewer as Wu will put up a deep throw, and she was trying to get it all the way to the end zone.
Indeed, by a pair of Bowdoin players.
As Tor Parker will set up the Bowdoin offense. Parker to Jacobs. Jacobs defended by Gilbert. Looked like Jacobs wanted a strike cut. She'll get it from Parker.
Yeah.
Parker.
Oh, and Diamond with the opportunistic D.
You could see it from our vantage point, maybe not from Parker's, that Diamond was kind of cheating into that lane a little bit.
She was definitely anticipating that the person she was guarding. Oh, we have a deep throw to number 24, and
looked like it was a height differential there between Niles and Bowdoin.
And number 4, Allie Niles, she has been a machine out there on defense, really.
Kat Daly.
Plus, she's wearing devil horns, and that's always a good sign for an ultimate player.
Devil horns, scientifically proven to make you better.
That's right.
It's a Diamond. We'll put her on. It looked like she was.
She saw something that no one on her team saw.
Jacobs will put it up deep. Diamond's out the back. It looked like it was intended there for Kat Daly, but Diamond will give it over to Wu. Wu looking to continue on here to the near side. That's Valerie Johanna. It's just off the hands there of Tiffany Truong, and Bowdoin will take over with Tor Parker. Now, I think if you're Bowdoin here, you just want to take a couple extra seconds.
That was a smart move. You had the easy cut wide open in front. Just take 2 steps forward. You kind of get the disc moving, and you start getting some flow going. Oh, nice grab. And we have,
it looked like it was just out of the reach there of Miranda Viederman and Lizzie Gracie. But I like that throw.
It was, you know what, it was kind of a mistake for 2 people to be cutting in the same spot, but it was where the throw was to. And it was a smart play.
Bowdoin back to Diamond. He has Gilbert long instead.
Looking for that strike cut.
And she'll get it. Wu has Truong long.
Oh my goodness.
That is a good punt.
Oh, that was
just out of the reach.
And you know, you mentioned it earlier with this being early in the season, and they might not have as much chemistry as they're going to have a little bit later. So that gets completed, you know, maybe even 2 weeks from now.
But I like the base that they're laying here. You can see that framework being built as Parker will give it over here to Jacobs. Jacobs defended here by Gilbert. Back to Parker. Parker has Gracie long. Instead, shows off to give it.
Now that was a good break throw.
Yep. Good defense there by Wu. Wu will fake it long.
It was a good fake because I bought it.
Yep. looked like it was through the hands of Diamond.
Looks like both teams are starting to get a little fatigued.
Yep. And Parker will set up the Bowdoin offense. In cut by Daly. Instead, we'll give it to Jacobs. Jacobs was working here on the near side. We'll go flick. She'll go flick. Completed to Daly. Daly looking to work it off the sideline. She'll complete a pass. The continuation throw, not good. Good cut
nice
there.
Nice inside throw.
Even better defense there by Bowdoin.
Gosh, she is just so fast.
No, it's as you were mentioning to me off camera during halftime. She's been all over the field. As I mentioned, when she gets a little more experience, she is going to be a nasty ultimate player. And in ultimate terms, nasty means good. It's a good thing. It looked like Viderman was able to get over.
I think we might have a foul call.
It looked like Viderman may have been in Diamond's space, but it looked like they're gonna let it go.
You know, one thing I've really liked about this game is the discussions on the field. They've been very good. They've clarified. Very good spirit. Nice snag.
Gracie to Parker. Parker back to Jacobs. Jacobs working towards the middle of the field. Looking at good defense there by Wu.
I like the way they reversed the field there. And by that I mean they had the disc on one side, and instead of continuing up the sideline, they reverse, come back to the near sideline, and it gets the defense out of position. Bowdoin again.
Yeah, Bowdoin taking a block away from Parker. It looked like she had that one lined up. But
yep.
Bowdoin to the diamond just off the hands.
Unforced error there. That's a fatigue point right there.
Potentially, could be fatigue. Could be a little bit of the chills. It's cold. It's cold for the first time. As Parker will go to Jacobs.
And Boston's probably still a little warmer than Southern Maine.
Daly working towards the middle of the field. Truong.
That was a tough throw to try and squeeze in because the defender was right on the hip of the offensive player.
Yeah, you have to wonder if the defenses are starting to adjust a little bit because that throw has been there most game for both. Strike cut there by Wu. Wu has Gilbert long. Instead, you might be able to hear on the audio.
Trying to get it to Diamond. Oh, just out of her reach.
But I like that. I like that look there from Wu, just kind of trying to swing it off the sideline. Jacobs will put up for Parker. Parker.
Nice break inside throw.
And we'll throw it up and in, and good catch there by Daly.
Oh, and that is the horn for the game. I'm not.
That's game over. Hard cap, right?
That is hard cap.
That is hard cap. So. BU able to rise over the chaos, and they will take this one by a score of 8-7.
Very nicely done, Finn.
If you'll excuse the dad joke.
No. There is nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that. any kind of pun is totally acceptable.
Oh, wait.
So yes, it was a very very competitive game, despite some some sloppy play at times. There's some really nice play at other times.
No, what I really liked in the game was were the fundamentals.
Yes.
I think you can see the sports come a long way. Both teams coached really well.
The thing I noticed is, as I mentioned at halftime off air, is both teams were pretty much glued to cutting from the back of the stack, and when that wasn't open, the thing they were doing to reset or to get a new count was the strike cut, and that was open almost all day for both teams. So that's a good way. It's a little old school to, you hear from the sidelines, oh, get yards on the throw, and that's not really what's necessary. What's necessary is to get the disc moving. The more throws you get, the more flow you get into, the more the defense has to run, and the chances of them getting out of position increase.
No, absolutely, and I thought both teams did that quite well in getting those extra throws and making sure that the disc didn't stagnate to one or two. You saw that a little bit at the beginning of the game. That
Correct.
You get into those high stall counts and you have your panic huck, but no, both teams I thought did quite well in getting that good crisp disc movement. So both, so I think the futures are bright for both of them, and we look to see them back at regionals in a couple of weeks.
Yes, I think you're right there. I think both teams have a lot to build on, but they have a lot of base there. Now we're resetting the game clock.
And welcome back to the broadcast booth. I'm Vinny Samuelson, joined alongside Mike Callahan, as we welcome you back to this second streamed game here on the main YouTube Ultimate channel between Wentworth University and the University of Vermont.
Yeah, it's should be an exciting game. The UVM B squad, we'll see what they have to offer versus the Wentworth team.
Wentworth will pull from right to left, and UVM will take over from inside their own end zone. Looking to work it up. Looks like they're coming out in a horizontal offense, and UVM will turn over, and we'll get a look at the offense here for Wentworth.
A couple of quick throws to get the disc moving.
Looks like they're gonna come under vertical stack. They'll work up the far sideline.
Nice throw to the end zone.
Quick stuff and score there from Wentworth, and the Wentworth defense comes out strong. It's 1-0 Wentworth.
That was really nice, quick disc movement, and it looked like after the turnover, the UVM defense was confused and didn't know who to pick up.
Yeah, I liked again that quick transition there from Wentworth. That after getting the stuff, they went straight into that vertical stack. Nice crisp. Looked like there wasn't a whole lot of confusion as to where people had to go, what the roles were,
and they didn't wait. They didn't wait for the perfect setup for the stack. They picked up the disc, they got it moving, and they caught UVM flat-footed.
And UVM will look to get it back. Down here quickly as we will go over the roster for the University of Vermont. Number 22, Jack Polham. Number 11, Zebulon. Number 0, Evan Bakeb. Number 32, Richie Abbott. Number 2, Nate Smith. Number 77, Mac Burka. Number 4, Grant Goodale. Number 13, Andrew Bano. Number 3, Jacob Drummond. Number 89, Texan Williams. Number 8, Gather Bourdreau. As Wentworth will pull out the far sideline, and that will set up Vermont with nice field position in the middle of the field. Looks like they're going to come out again with that horizontal offense.
For those who don't know, when the disc is thrown out the side, frequently it's called a brick, and the offense gets to take it 20 yards up in the middle of the field if they so choose.
Good secondary cut there by the middle of UVM's side hoe stack.
We've got some really interesting cutting going on. It looks like they're trying to keep the sideline cutters on the sideline instead of having them rotate to the middle of the field. A little scoober.
There's never a bad time to throw a scoober.
Never a bad time for a scoober. Deep throw.
Good put. Even better defense.
Very good defense.
I love that. Love that look by the Wentworth defense. Maybe a little rash. I liked the look. You had the man breaking out the back, but I think maybe just calm down a little bit.
Yeah, there was a defender trailing, and he was between him and for that to work, it would have had to have been an inside-out forehand.
Maybe a little early in the season for a little IO forehand action, but as Wentworth will walk it up here now to the near sideline. As it's Ruben little dump and swing from the Wentworth offense. They put it right back down the sideline, and then we'll work it here to the field, looking to tire out the UVM defense.
Yes, they're sticking with that vert stack throughout. We have a potential call on the sideline. Looks like they're debating whether he was in or out. Oh, and it's a turnover.
Because it looked like he was straddling that far sideline, but I think what UVM was arguing that he put his outside foot down first and then his inside foot, therefore creating the out call.
Yes, in ultimate frisbee, you only need to have 1 foot inbounds. It doesn't or one body part inbounds, and it's always the first point of contact. So if the first point of contact is out and the second foot lands in a straddle situation like there, you are technically out of bounds, and it's a turnover. Oh, we have a play up the middle of the field.
Field 30, so there are maps inside the carts?
To the back of the end zone and out of reach of the UVM player.
Yeah,
looks like something they've been setting up, kind of trying to set up for a couple points now, using that height and speed of the unnumbered player in black.
I like the look there from UVM. You're down 1 early. Just put it out the back because even if you don't get the score, you're still set up right on your own end zone line to maybe hope to get a quick stuff and score here.
Looks like Wentworth is changing their offense from a vert to a horizontal stack.
But unlike UVM's horizontal stack, like the good defense there from the University of Vermont, and they will take over.
Little frustration on the part of the thrower. He knows it got away from him a little bit, but he's got to forget about that and play some defense.
UVM opting to go with a...
That was the cut too. Oh, a layout around, and we have a potential foul and an injury.
It looked like it...
We have a discussion on the field. I'm not sure if it's about a foul and a contest or...
Looks like it's a... looks like the foul was called, but I think... Because it looked like the Wentworth defender physically reached around and potentially batted his hand or batted the disc away. So I think they're having a discussion.
And it may be they've brought another player is helping discuss, because it could be that the gentleman in the red shirt is relatively new and may not know exactly all the rules as far as fouling and contesting and what that means. So bringing in someone else to kind of help explain to new players, because the last thing you want is to have your teammate get talked out of making a call because he doesn't understand the nuances of the game.
True. It looks like he will retain possession. Because I thought he did an excellent job boxing the defender out and giving himself the only possible lane to the disc.
You are correct. He used his body to his advantage.
But UVM will turn it over here.
And we have our first oopsie of the game. When you pick up the disc, if it's a turnover, you have to be the one to put it in play. You can't give it to a teammate and let them put it in play.
It's early in the season. Even though this tournament does have implications for regionals, for nationals, still always time for learning experiences.
And can I just say, 19 has a magnificent mane of hair. Oh, very nice, very vertical. Okay. Thank you. All right, so we've been calling this entire game wrong. UVM is in white. Concrete. The Wentworth team is in the green and black.
That's I will admit to the error for assuming that just because Wentworth had on the green and black
Of
jerseys
UVM.
of that would be that would be corresponding with.
Oh, nice throw across the field.
And Vermont knocking here on the doorstep.
So for all those in the comment section, you can call us morons, and that's acceptable. And please don't spike the disc.
No, please spare Mike Callahan. That was on me in our pregame discussion as to which team was which.
But UVM, the college's sports team's colors are like green and black, so with some white numbering.
No, they definitely are. Although, and it would be funny if to ironically name your ultimate team Concrete Jungle being in Burlington, Vermont.
That would be quite awesome, quite frankly. But apparently that is not the case.
Yep. So Wentworth looking to answer here, down 0-2.
So when you're in southern Maine, I don't know about you, Finn, but when I'm in the mood for barbecue, I will sometimes go to Moe's Famous Barbecue in South Portland, one of our wonderful sponsors, Moe's Original.
You know, Mike, there really isn't a better place to get barbecue in southern Maine, or really in central or northern Maine either.
Well, I mean, look, it's not going to be Tennessee barbecue, it's not going to be Kansas City barbecue, but hey, it's still pretty tasty.
You're right, it's better.
Yeah, nicely done. All right, we've got the UVM team in white.
There's going to be someone from Tennessee angrily typing in the comments.
Yes, their comments. Leave your comments in the sidebar of the stream.
Address it to New Hampshire ultimately.
Yeah.
But no, I think Moe's makes an excellent quality product. But no, you can't beat Tennessee or Louisiana barbecue. It's like God, death, and Texas. The best barbecue comes to the South, as UVM will put up. It will be fielded by Wentworth, and they will take over here on offense, looking to set up with that horizontal stack. Good movement there from their cutters.
Oh, we have a layout attempt, but a little out of his reach.
But you can see them starting to set up that rotational horizontal action, getting the people from the sidelines in towards the middle. You know.
Yeah, when you're running a horizontal stack, some teams like to do the pistoning in and out with their positions, so they don't really move from the middle to the sideline, whereas other teams like to do kind of big ovals where you're moving, cutting from the sideline in, and moving around the field a little more.
Good job there by UVM to just give it back to a handler. Not looking to immediately punch in.
Ooh, just through his hands. A little. That was coming in pretty hot. That was coming in pretty hot.
Yeah, speaking of barbecue, I think there was a little too much mustard on that.
Very nice.
on that throw. I think maybe no. You're 6 feet away. You know, to take a little edge off.
Maybe if he had put some barbecue sauce on his fingers to get him sticky, it would have been easier.
I see nothing wrong with maybe a little halftime barbecue sauce. I think that maybe that's what we had number 28 here on the near sideline, looking for that deep puck, but wisely Wentworth will hang on to it and look to take maybe a little bit more of a chilled approach to the offense.
Oh, good job by the defender bodying out the offensive person there.
44 looking to send a huck into the next district. And
Very nice.
And UVM will go up by a score of 3-0.
That was a very nice throw. To be fair, the Wentworth defender was what we call baiting that throw. He wanted the throw to go there because he thought he could get up and get it. But the UVM player just out-jumped him for it.
No, I thought it was a good defensive strategy. You know, give a little bit of that open window, especially with UVM pinned up against the sideline. You know, because that throw could only go in that little tiny window that.
Hey, wait, Joe, let's go. Wait, Dave, get it to the end zone.
What the hell? And it looks like Wentworth will take a timeout here.
Yeah, they need to just kind of calm themselves down and get refocused. We saw in the first game, Bowdoin ladies did that. They were down by like 3 or 4. They took a timeout and kind of just gathered themselves, and they came storming back and made it a very competitive affair. So that's what Wentworth is trying to do. They're trying to kind of clarify some things. Looks like the coach is just trying to get them all on the same page.
No, and to your point that after that timeout, it seemed like Bowdoin's defense really clamped down, and that it took Boston University all 80 minutes just to score 8 points.
Yes.
So I like the decision here from Wentworth to take that timeout. You know, maybe slow the game down, get it back more on their terms, try and halt the momentum from the Catamounts.
And just 3 points in is hardly a game, but I do like. I have been impressed with the athleticism of the UVM team. They've got some speed. They've got some jumping ability, as we just saw on that last point, and they're doing a good job of playing defense against this Wentworth team.
Yeah, really good of Wentworth to make the trek up here to Maine, but no, you can see UVM over on the far end zone line. I think talking a little bit of strategy.
Yeah, they're hopefully trying. Sometimes the hard part in timeouts, if you're not the team that took it, is maintaining your focus. You know, you're on a roll and you want to keep that roll going. So you got to maintain your focus throughout this to say, hey, you know what? We're coming out on D. We're gonna play some hot D here and get a turnover and score and keep the momentum going.
And so we will get another look here at the Wentworth offense. So we've had both looks from the offense here. We've had a horizontal look. We've had a vertical look. I think their horizontal offense tends to work a little cleaner.
There's the spacing is different. A lot of horizontal stack has been in vogue for a number of years, and for those unfamiliar, in traditional horizontal stack, you have 3 people in the position we call handlers. They're going to be your primary people touching the disc, and your cutters are spread across horizontally the field, making cuts in and out off of each other and off of where the disc is going. Whereas a traditional vertical stack, you typically have 2 handlers and the rest of the stack is in a line vertically up the field, cutting out of there. There's usually more space to operate with a vertical stack, but horizontal stack's a lot more forgiving as well, meaning you can make a mistake on a cut and you're not necessarily going to pick or clog.
It looks like we'll come out here in the horizontal. I really do like their secondary cuts. That they get that initial look.
Oh, we have a hand block.
Good hand block, and UVM will take right back over.
Oh, nice D by Wentworth.
The hand block giveth, and the hand block taketh away. As Wentworth will take right back over.
One of the things I'm noticing about this Wentworth offense is when they're cutting from the middle of the horizontal stack, they're getting really close before they're throwing it. I mean, the cutters are getting very close to the throwers, and they're actually having to slow down a little bit, which is allowing their defender to catch up on the defense.
Looks like UVM will look to work it off the far sideline.
And we have a zone, our first zone of the day, it appears.
It looks like they're going a 3-3-1, so it looks like they have 3 people in the cup, 3 people in the wall, and then 1 person all the way back. And it pays off for them almost immediately.
Yes.
I think there was a little bit too much float on the attempt to get it up and over the cup, and that enabled the wall to push down. And
beautiful strike cut there for a point. That was very, very nicely done.
That was Alex Garrity for Wentworth, and they have their first score of the day to bring it to within 2.
And so it looks like what happened was they had, coming out of that timeout, they called their vertical stack or their horizontal stack offense, and then they called, if we turn it over, we're going to go into a zone. Here's your position. Now, a zone defense, for those who don't know, is similar to zone in most other sports. You're looking to take away space. You're occupying space, trying to clog throwing lanes with body parts. It's not what we call a good defense in that there's a lot of space available on the field. The idea behind a zone is you're trying to make the offense make a lot of throws, and therefore the more throws they make, the greater the chance one of them is going to be poor, and you're going to get a turnover. Or maybe you get the offense that gets impatient and tries to force something.
And I've also found that with setting up zones, especially when there's a little bit of wind, that if the offense is throwing into the wind, that there's a greater chance that trying to get it up and over the first or second layer of defense.
Yeah, a lot of the good throws in a zone are these short little passes over the cup, and with wind, that's very difficult because those tend to float.
As Wentworth will pull it up, and it will, and as we mentioned, it catches a little bit of the wind, it will come out.
Almost lands on the other field. So let's see. Looks like Wentworth has gone back into their person. And we are gonna a side vert stack. Excellent.
You don't see those too often.
Amherst Women's High School or Girls High School runs one of the best side stack I've ever seen. Oh, nice.
It's an excellent put there from Vermont to go up 4-1. As most of our most viewers know, and good historians of Ultimate, Amherst is one of the hotbeds of Ultimate here on the East Coast.
Yes, they've had. I have more experience with coaching against their high school teams, and they're just really. And that girls' team is just a machine. It just churns out excellent player after excellent player, and they are a very, very good team. So that was a really nice job of getting his feet down in the end zone. As we established earlier, it's your first point of contact. So his first foot came down in the end zone, and his second was on the line, so he was in for the score.
Yeah, because you could see it, because you could see his momentum was kind of carrying him out towards the out of bounds area, and no, he did a really good job controlling his feet, getting it in.
Well, and it was a tricky throw because it was what we call an outside in. So the disc kind of comes in an arc, and you have to throw those further than you think. So if your target is the middle of the end zone, you actually have to throw it like you're throwing it towards the back line of the end zone, because it's always going to come in a little bit shorter than what you think because of the rotation of the disc.
And speaking of scores, I believe there was a comment on the YouTube stream earlier, saying quote unquote, spikes are fun, don't hate. Well, the problem with spiking the disc is that then you taco the disc, and
yes,
then you make the disc unusable for future use. Well, I understand the passion is there, and it is fun to spike the disc.
Oh, and we have another out of bounds on the ball.
Nobody likes a taco disc.
No, and if it's your disc that gets tacoed, I think you might have a little different attitude.
No, you should save the tacos for eating.
That's right. We have a. All right, so we're taking the brick, another Wentworth horizontal stack offense.
Looks like we have good job by UVM to reach around the Wentworth cutter and create a turnover.
And you know, sometimes it's just that distraction. And Wentworth falls back into their zone.
Nice easy reset there from UVM. Was that a left hand?
So we have good work by the Poppers now. Oh, we have a hammer, helix, and it's a turnover.
You know, I do like I like the look there. I mean, maybe try and bust up and out of the zone. Maybe get a little bit of a longer throw. But Wentworth will take over here on offense.
And he did have the height advantage on that, so that sometimes plays a part. Ooh, we have a foul call. It appeared that the UVM player was poaching or basically playing off his person in anticipation of where the throw was going to try and get the D. And it looks like the offensive person is disputing that he either got there first, or it looks like he's saying he was hit on the arm.
I think Wentworth is going to retain possession. Yeah, so he's trying to interpret those the hand motions he was going to look. Maybe he was clipped on the arm.
Yeah, maybe he. Ultimate is still a relatively non-contact sport, and if you're impeded in going for the disc, you're hit, you can call a foul. That foul can either then be contested or not contested by the defense. Which means if it's uncontested, you retain possession. If it's contested, you retain possession as well. However, it's where the count goes to. There was no count on that one, though.
I liked the zone busting movement there from UVM. It looked like they just put that up the near sideline. Throw just a little bit
out of reach of number 11, but it was good movement through that zone that time.
because if you get those handlers all working in concert, and if you're able to get that sideline to sideline handler movement, handler throws going, that zone can only last so long.
Nice strike cut up the sideline. Near side disc.
There were multiple cutters breaking deep.
Layout D under. Beautifully done.
Everybody loves a layout D. No, but excellent coverage there from UVM. It looked like Wentworth was going to finish the drive, and just this drop there out the back end, and Wentworth will look to take over. You hear the fire call.
That generally means person. Oh, hand block again.
Good to see some active hands on defense. We've already seen two hand blocks.
Yeah, in the offense will need to adjust to that by throwing a fake, pivoting, and making that defender overcommit to try and get the hand block and get them out of position, and then break around them. Got a little careless on the dump throw.
Just an unforced error, but I think in terms of zone busting, it was the right movement, the right call.
Oh, we have a foul, no contest.
I think it was.
Yes, I hit your hand.
I think going into that cookie jar one too many times, and it was a pretty obvious foul. As Wentworth knocking here on the doorstep. They will just in and out of the hands. That looks to be Ben Garop. Ben.
We're just going to call him Ben.
Ben. Yeah, in and out of the hands of Ben.
When we can read Mike Letting's handwriting, we'll get it right next time. So that zone has been effective for UVM, or for Wentworth rather, and part of that is. We'll explain a little bit more in between points, but you need a lot of movement with your offense. Oh, a hammer. That's a perfect throw in the zone. A little over the top. Break the cup. Get them running.
No, that was a perfect hammer for the situation.
Good read by number 28, Ben, on defense again.
And that was a perfect poach. We saw the poach bite Wentworth a little bit earlier on, but Ben timed that perfectly. He'll come in, and he's looking to just dump it back to a handler here.
Yeah, he looks like he's a relatively new player in that he looks like he's uncomfortable. Uncomfortable throwing the disc forward, and he'll get more comfortable with more experience.
I think that's the beauty of college ultimate, that usually every team is a mix of those players. So you can have those newer players who will just get the disc and look for a dump.
Nice grab.
But he certainly has the field presence and the mindset to make himself available for those throws.
Nice.
And Wentworth will punch it into the end zone. That's number 12, Roland Garrity. My apologies if the name is incorrect.
Okay, so let's get back to this zone defense. So what the zone defense that Wentworth is running is a 3-3-1, which is more of a traditional zone. So that means there are three people basically forming a triangle around the person who has the disc. Now, you might be asking, well, why don't they get closer? In Ultimate, you need to be 10 feet from you can't have more than one person 10 feet from the thrower. Otherwise, it's called a double team, and double teams in ultimate frisbee are illegal. Now, what the offense will do to try and counter that is they'll have two people cutting in and out of that cup to kind of disrupt it and try and just get a little bit of movement with the disc. Once that person gets in towards the cup, you can do what we call crash, so defenders can go to them, and it's no longer a double team because now you have two offensive players within 10 feet, so it's no longer a double team. You can have two defenders within that 10 feet.
No, there are a lot of plays that would otherwise be legal in a sport like, say, basketball, that are unallowed here in ultimate frisbee. Good sliding stop there by Vermont. And it looks like Wentworth will come out straight in that zone.
And so you have these, so behind the cup, you have three people generally in a line trying to cut off those overhead easy throws. Now, once you bust up the middle of the cup like that on offense, you just move the disc because there's no one in that space.
No, and I think you can see Vermont here is working, I think we have potentially a travel call.
Either a travel or an out-of-bounds call.
Looks like it's going to be no contest from Vermont on that out-of-bounds call.
Yep.
But they had been running that zone busting, having those quick, easy throws, and not allowing that cup time to get set and to stagnate.
And that's the thing with that's why we say zone isn't really a great defense, is because you get a little bit of movement and you are out of position. Nice throw up the sideline, just through the hands.
Yep, Vermont will swing it here into the middle of the field, working here down the near sideline. Back to the middle.
Blade, love the blade.
There's all sorts of exotic and interesting throws here in the early going.
A blade is a throw that really has a hard edge to it. It's not like flat and nice and easy to catch. It comes down hard and at an angle.
As Wentworth set up here on offense, it sounds like they're forcing but it looks like it was in and out of the hands, and looked like Wentworth is trying to force it back, but Vermont did well to poach into that dump lane.
Yes. Wentworth back into that zone. Now that middle of the zone is a little too deep.
It looks like they're trying to anticipate that zone busting cut that Vermont was able to utilize, but no, I think you're you're right, Mike. That number 58 is going to want to pull down a little bit more. Maybe take away that middle throw.
So you have two people in that second layer, and we have movement up through the middle. Very nice patience by UVM.
Yep, as UVM looking to swing here down the far sideline, and they will swing it back.
They will score.
Really nice movement there from UVM. A little give and go around that far cup anchor.
Yep.
And there's really nothing you can do as a defender on that.
No, you get kind of in you're kind of in an uncomfortable island. I've been there before, and it's like you're out of position for both throws, and it's hard. So the three people behind the cup are trying to take away some of the little over the tops and a little bit of the cuts into the middle of the field. Generally, you have one person behind the cup and two people closer to the sidelines, and they'll pinch in. By pinch in, I mean move in towards the middle of the field and flex back out, depending on where the threat. Who's the threat? Who's the cutting threat? And then you have that one person deep whose job is to take away deep throws. Now, the most important thing in a zone defense is communication, and that comes from either the sideline or the various layers. You've got the deep directing where he wants those people, those sideline defenders to go. You know, pinch in, drop means come back towards me because I've got 2 people or 3 people, you know, near me, and I can't guard them all.
True. So I think if you're as Wentworth here, just maybe take a couple extra seconds. That horizontal offense has been working well in terms of giving them some options. You know, and if you're able to score here, you're back within 2.
You've got a roller. Always love the roller bowl. Except you can taco the disc that way too. All right, Wentworth gets into those horizontal stack.
I'll take over. Looks like Vermont is forcing forehand here. Good in cut there from Wentworth, working it towards the far sideline. Though I think if you're number 2, maybe
a little bit of a floater. Oh, and he got up there to get the D over 2 Wentworth players.
Good work there from the Catamount defense.
Wentworth gets back into their zone.
Well, when you're in the shadow of your own end zone like this, if you can get a quick score, nothing but good stuff here from.
That hammer is going to land out of bounds. On the soccer field, it would have been fine.
But is it ever a bad decision to throw a hammer? Maybe there.
Hammers win tournaments. I mean, that's just a thing.
It is a good in cut from Concrete Win. He's been having those solid undercuts.
Hey, he's an athlete. I mean, the kid can jump. He's got some speed. He's comfortable with his throws. He's gonna get the score here. Oh, layout almost. That was a beautiful effort right there.
You know, I think maybe they could have taken that extra throw. You know, maybe take a little more time to allow the offense to set itself up.
You know, sometimes it's just that you get excited. You see the guy, you know he's going to be open. If you just wait that extra heartbeat and then make that throw, it's connected.
As Vermont will take over here on offense. They're calling for that crash.
Oh! And we have, Wentworth player went pretty hard and got contacted.
Looks like he's okay though. But again, you see that bait, that baiting there from the Wentworth defense.
Very good defense on the front person in the stack there. Oh, and just out of reach of the Wentworth player.
Looked like it maybe mistimed there from Anthony Page.
Back into the zone.
It looks like they have a mega cup, almost a.
They've got 5 people right around there. If UVM can get into some space, they will. That would have been a Callahan, no relation, if he had caught that in the end zone.
A Callahan, for those who are unfamiliar, is where a defensive player will catch a score in the end zone off an offensive player's throw, and it's a safety that's worth the equivalent of a touchdown. As Wentworth will work it here into the end zone. Nice side to side motion to get that open throw on the far side.
Yeah, move the disc to the middle of the field, and that throw is wide open. So when we say the defender is trying to force a sideline or force, home is generally where your stuff is and away is the other sideline. The person who's guarding the player with the disc, the offensive player, sets his mark. It's called the mark. He sets his mark so that he's on the side. He doesn't want to get thrown behind him. And then all of the defenders upfield guarding the people in the stack are on the opposite side. It's called the force. And the idea behind that is to make your defense easier. You only have to guard half the field, and you know which half that is.
No, as Wentworth will pull up here, and Vermont will set up.
In that zone. And that's the throw.
Good throw to get it up and over the top of that.
But that was really good recovery. Oh, and
they look at challenging the deep, but there was no chance for that for that deep put. You know, I like the I like the thinking, but when you have that deep hanging out there.
And what that did for UVM is they say, okay, that deep knows how to play deep. Oh, we have another hand block. Looking for that. Oh, beautiful throw into the end zone. Gets the hand block and then gets the throw into the end zone. Very, very nicely done.
Are we on a bookshelf? Because I think that might have been some bookends.
I don't know what it's. Yeah, I don't know what it's called when you get the hand block and throw it for a score. Yeah, so that was that the way that one of the reasons that worked is they got that over the top, over that really tight defense. But the UVM player didn't then just turn around and say, oh, I got all this field, I'm just going to throw it. Took a deep breath, had some patience, had some help, and the Wentworth zone recovered very quickly to that. That was very nice work by them. But then when you get that hand block, and sometimes when you go from transition from zone to person in the middle of a point, you can kind of get a little bit lost and confused, and it looks like that's what happened with Wentworth, as there were two people open in the end zone for that throw.
But even at the elite level, that's a really difficult skill to go, especially in the blink of an eye like that.
And I got to tell you, I'm liking the scrappiness from this Wentworth team. I mean, they're really, really playing hard. They're just they're making some mistakes by dropping the disc or a couple throwaways, but they're playing with a lot of effort.
No, and I really love the way they're conducting their offense. And that zone has gotten some big stops.
Yeah, it's been effective, and it's hard to have effective zone when there's not much wind, and there's not much wind right now.
I love this corner. No arms out, Carter. Arms out.
Oh, swing way across the field. Nice job.
Good find there from.
And a foot block by UVM, which, by the way, I wish they would get rid of because too many people can break fingers and hands. But having said that, it is still legal, and that was a very nice foot block.
Good job again by Wentworth, just being able to quickly transition back into that into that zone, and UVM showing a lot of patience.
You know what I'm not seeing right now with UVM is their cutter. The people who are supposed to be popping in the middle of the field to try and disrupt that cup are very stagnant. They need to be more active because right now it's just the handlers moving the disc, and that can get both tiring and difficult if the cup reacts and shuts down part of the field. Now the poppers are basically non-existent. The handlers are playing two positions. They're handling and they're popping.
No, it looks like that the wall, the second layer of that cup is working. Isn't having to do any work because the poppers are hanging out behind that.
Yep.
That wall in the second layer, but it works out well in the end for them. as the
And that's going to be a throwaway.
no,
That's another tough throw when you're trying to have someone cutting kind of in the direction of where that force is, and you're trying to lay it flat, and you almost always blade it like that because you're trying to get the person cutting across the field in an awkward direction. You're better off holstering that and waiting for the next cut.
Wentworth here with a chance to make it a 2-score game, as they will take over here on offense. Hear that strike call? It doesn't matter, as Wentworth able to make the completion here.
You know, the numberless black jerseyed person who just threw that has just been all over the field on offense and defense. Oh, and he gets a big huck here up the middle of the field, just out of reach.
Yeah, it looked like it was intended there for number 9 here on the near sideline, but just out of reach.
Back in that zone for Wentworth.
It comes crashing in.
Now we've got those poppers a little bit more active now.
Oh, looks like,
and that's the floater you don't want.
Yeah, because no, to your point, it looked like maybe there was a conversation on the sideline, talking, hey, you all need to come through that wall, through the cup more, but Ben for Wentworth able to
Wentworth draws closer.
I really like that defense I saw from Wentworth there. Able to get that quick defensive score. Maybe you could string it into a couple points here.
They're hanging tough. UVM clearly has some very talented players, but they also are mixing in, like a lot of these colleges, some new players like Wentworth is, and Wentworth is really hanging tough. Now, what UVM needs to do to counter is say, okay, they're going to come down in the zone. They're going to keep throwing it till we beat it. So here's what we need to do. Take a deep breath, get a little more activity from those poppers and some of those wings, because you've seen it. I mean, when they get that over the top or just behind that second level, they've just cruised up the field after that.
True, and I also like what I've seen from UVM in terms of a horizontal movement, getting that, getting those swings through the handlers. Get it. Once you get to the sideline, making that cup work. And they've been able to get those nice throws through the cup when presented. I think their trouble has been trying to make those quick through the cup throws immediately and having Wentworth come down. And
I'm not sure if Wentworth has taken a timeout or not, but they're taking an awful long time in between points here.
Look, they may extend that 90 seconds into 120 seconds, maybe 130. But they will pull away now, and Vermont will look to take over here on offense.
It looks like Person. Or the cup's getting down there late. Yeah, that looks like.
I think you're starting to see a little fatigue.
Yep. Oh, and that is going to be a huge gainer. Oh, and UVM. Now, can they continue that? Oh, and we are at half.
I think there on that last point, right before the half, it was, as you mentioned, zone having some flaws. That's the risk you run. When you do run that 3-3-1 or even 2-4-1 zone, that if you get those throws away, there's not a whole lot of people back.
Yeah, and it's Wentworth probably should stick with the zone because. Okay, you give up 1 point like that. Okay, that's going to happen in the zone. Zone's not really a good defense, but they've been getting turnovers, and until UVM consistently demonstrates that they can beat that zone, then they should keep throwing it.
I agree. It's been you could see a little bit of that nervous panic from UVM that you see three people in pretty close proximity,
and that's especially daunting to new players. You're new. You're not going to be a handler in the zone. You're probably going to be a wing. And if you get that on the wing, and then all of a sudden there are three people around you, you're not really comfortable with the disc in your hands as far as throwing it, and you start the little voice in your head starts going, "Find someone and get rid of the disc, get rid of the disc." Whereas you should be saying, "Deep breath, someone will come help you out." But that comes with time and experience sometimes, Yep.
It was a quick halftime. I think the timeout was longer.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think they might not have even bothered to ask screw half. Now the sun's coming out a little bit. We can put out the fire we needed to build to keep warm. Turning into a rather nice morning.
As UVM will pull from left to right across your screen. Pull is up, and it is good.
Laying right about the middle of the field. Excellent pull.
Yeah, it looks like Wentworth has 4 people back.
Oh, and that's what we've seen from Wentworth today. Unfortunately, just these little things that are just these throws that are just out of reach. But they bounce back and get into that zone right away.
Though I wonder if you're Wentworth, if you come out of the zone here, because you're pretty close to your own end zone here.
One of the prevailing and that is a score.
Good diving save there by UVM.
And that was also a little bit of protection in there. You want to slide and kind of protect yourself from getting clocked by the defender coming in. There are a couple different schools of thought. They must think, are these games still 15? I thought they were to 13 because they apparently think it's half now, which is fine. But one of the, I don't see Mike around. I'll just keep going. I don't care. Okay. So one of the things with that zone is there are a couple different philosophies. A lot of people, if you get close to your end zone, they want to go get out of the zone, run person. Some people, competing thought is no, stay in the zone. If you're going to play the zone, that half of the field, stay in it all the way, because you're still, all of a sudden, you've got those 3 handlers out of the end zone, but now you have, 10 people really close to the end zone, and that can be tricky to score in that kind of situation. All right, so what do you think? What does Wentworth need to do the second half to kind of start drawing closer and keep UVM within reach?
I think a little more horizontal movement. Maybe take that extra throw. Maybe get the defenders on their heels because in the first half it's been a block party for UVM. Yeah. Maybe get one or two more fakes. You just try and get their hands a little bit more movement.
Yeah, you throw a fake and look, it's for a player who's been playing as long as I have, which has been decades. When I get hand blocked, to me, it's a moment of shame because I should know better. Like a lot of these kids, they're young. They're not used to. They're used to the force just kind of the mark standing there and forcing you and not moving, so you have that easy forehand throw all day. No one's going to block it. So you set that up. You start throwing a fake. You start pivoting, and you get that defender trying to get that hand block and saying, I'm going to get the hand block and get him out of position. Then it's a step around, easy break throw, and now all of a sudden you have the entire field open and waiting for your offense. So I think taking advantage of UVM's aggressiveness on that mark is what they need to do from the handler perspective and the throwing perspective. Unfortunately for Wentworth, what we saw in the first half a little bit on offense was too many 1 or 2 throw possessions, right?
Yeah.
Going back to your point, they need to get that extra throw, start getting some flow going, and moving the disc to get those defenders moving and a little bit out of position.
Yep. And then Mike, inversely, what do we think UVM has to do in the second half to try and keep the pressure on Wentworth?
What they really need to do is they need to work that zone a little bit better than they were in the middle of that half, where it was all handler movement. You need to get those poppers more, at least one of them coming into that cup. And when we say the cup crashes, what that means is both defenders immediately, or a couple of defenders immediately react to that new offensive person right there and move together. And what that does is it creates this big throwing lane behind that's wide open for a quick IO throw or the second popper moving into the position. They do that, and they will march down the field on the zone, and that will open everything up for that UVM offense. So they can't get complacent in this half. They have to keep the pressure on.
As we are ready for second half action here on the main Ultimate channel. This half brought to you by Revision Energy.
For all your energy needs. They actually, we were having this discussion earlier about what Revision Energy does. However, they do have some nice solar panels over by Turney Central to help add power to our proceedings. I would also like to throw a shout out to another of our sponsors, Bayside Bowl. Great, just a fantastic place for bowling, for food. You think of when I was growing up, a long, long time ago, bowling alley food was those awful hot dogs on those rotation things and maybe some greasy, gross popcorn. Bayside Bowl has such an excellent menu. And in the warmer months, when the deck is open, upstairs, open air, it's just a fantastic place to watch the sunset, have a few, have a drink or two or a soda, and maybe some tacos and watch the sunset.
Pull is up, and UVM will take over on offense. But to finish up your Bayside Bowl thought, I don't think there's a better bowling environment in the entire state.
I love it. I love it over there.
It is absolutely fantastic as UVM will go to work against this Wentworth zone.
Now the zone looks a little bit different. It looks like a sort of almost an amoeba cup. Looks like they've got a couple people who are supposed to run around and mark, and they've got 3 or 4 more people in that second layer scrunching down to try and make it work. Oh, and a great grab by number 22.
It's a really good throw there by number 22. But it was very interesting to see what Wentworth was working there in that zone. It looked like it was almost a rotational zone to have that wing or that middle wall defenders kind of come in and transition out as the cutters were going in.
Yeah, and okay, so they gave up a pretty easy score there on that one, because once they got it behind that back wall, I mean, there was one defender back there, and everyone else is trying to scramble. So if they want to, I would encourage them, especially since it's early in the season. All right, that didn't work that time. Let's try it again. Let's see if we can nail down, because when you start going into and you start thinking about your regional tournaments and your hopes for nationals, you want to have several functioning defenses, right? Whether it's tough person and one go-to zone, but now is this time of year where you can experiment with a lot of different things, both offensively and defensively, to see what works and what you can get, what you can improve at.
As we will get another look here at the Wentworth offense.
UVM's feeling pretty confident right about now, coming out of half and pulling, getting the turnover, and scoring.
Yeah, absolutely vital to get that defensive score right out of half. And UVM looking to run it back.
That is, that was close.
That looks to be out the side, but
well, we have the UVM player claiming otherwise.
Yep.
And it landed in. Excellent job.
Could not.
Nope.
Good job there by Wentworth to try and work it up and out from the shadow in the end zone. Still trying to get it off that sideline, work it in towards the middle. Good.
Nice lead pass there.
Wentworth doing a good job of having patient offense here.
Yeah, that was not an issue of patience there. That was miscommunication. He started cutting and tried to lead him, and he stopped just as it was about to leave his hand. That'll get better the more they play together.
I think that's something that gets resolved with time and practice as opposed to.
Wentworth back into that three-person cup.
Good job by UVM to start swinging around, maybe crash into that cup a little bit more, get a little more vertical.
Yeah, just like that. That's just what those two poppers just did. Cutting into that cup, opening up some lanes, getting the disc, getting the defense running around.
You can
See, now that's open. Nice read.
Like that. I like that potential movement there from UVM. Maybe get a little dump and swing, try and get the cut moving, and in good movement by the second layer of the offense. Those wings and cutters.
Again, there we go, up the sideline.
Yep. And then that allure was there.
Yep. And his teammates did the right thing there. They said, he was feeling bad about himself, and they said, nope, get up, pick up on defense.
Yeah. Although I think we just saw the inverse there from Wentworth. You get that big turnover. You see someone going long, then the temptation is there to throw it long, but maybe just holster it a little bit. And
well, it's also knowing who's. These two teams don't face each other very often, so you don't know the tendencies of other players. And wow, nice score by UVM.
Nice patient offense there at the tail end, and they will work it to 10-4.
So now Wentworth really has to dig deep. They've been scrappy. And we have a timeout. That's probably a smart move. Hey, you know what? When they did that in the first half, they came back out in that zone, right? And they started turning the game around. So maybe they can, give their players a break to let the adrenaline kind of calm down and get their minds refocused on, what they need to do.
Yeah, I think that's a good solid call by Wentworth. Maybe try and slow a little bit of that momentum down.
Yeah.
Because that's a couple of straight points for Vermont. Yeah, you get that big turnover, and then you score. So you know, trying to work back in with a little over 21 minutes left. Yeah, I like Wentworth's chances to come back in this one.
Yeah, they got to play clean the rest of this game on offense. I have noticed coming out of half that Wentworth has done a better job of throwing some fakes in there to trying to avoid some of those hand and foot blocks.
Yeah, I think it will be interesting to watch the hand and foot placement of the Vermont defenders on this next point. See if maybe they're a little more. There's a little more guesswork.
And you know, Wentworth has to. The last 2 points, UVM has done a really good job of. You know, they showed some patience in that zone until it broke down, and then they struck big, and were successful at it. So Wentworth has to figure out a way to prevent that from happening again, and you know, altering their zone to try and adjust to UVM's adjustment.
Yeah, I wonder if you go to more of a 2-4-1, you know, maybe draw a person out from that cup, because you saw a couple of those longer throws out towards the sidelines where someone was almost completely unguarded. You know, if you drop an extra wing defender, if you drop an extra wall defender down, if that might assist you here in the latter stages of the second half.
Well, and you know, one of the difficult things about if you're playing in the cup in the zone is everything's kind of in front of you and close to you. So, you know, you really have to get practiced at kind of peeking over your shoulders to see where the threat is coming from, to see if you can kind of take away an initial look maybe. You know, the other players up the field need to, or, you know, the sideline needs to do a better job of communicating to the Wentworth zone of where the threat from UVM is.
Pull from Vermont, stopped up here by Wentworth. Drop back to the handler, and they will look to work it up here in the middle of the field. Strike cut coming. It's waved off, and they opt to go to the middle of the field instead. Options for Wentworth. They instead opt to work it back toward the handler. Good horizontal movement here from the cutters here.
Yeah, Wentworth is doing the piston action with their horizontal stack. Oh, we have a deep throw up the middle of the field.
And looking at it, and just could have taken that extra beat.
Yeah, lefty. That's a tough throw for a lefty to make there, cutting across his face with the defender right there. You know, that's when you need to say, okay, you know, I don't need to score in one. We're right here. Let's make sure I make the best throw, you know, available. And sometimes that means holding on to an extra beat, waiting for someone else to make the next cut.
But you can see here with the movement lucky break there for Wentworth as the
hand block, but recovered.
Look like almost a handoff there from and a drop there by the cutter, and it'll be Vermont's disc.
Wentworth has a lot of their new players in right now, which is great. Give them experience in a tournament. It's just invaluable.
Good catch and a score.
That is a score. So in Ultimate, if you have you're not allowed to throw it to yourself. And so if you, for example, if you've got the disc and you mean to make a throw and you kind of get under it and the wind gets it and no one else touches it, you're not allowed to recatch it. However, if you try and make a throw and the defender touches it and deflects it right back to you, you are allowed to catch it and continue play.
The play is awfully rare, but always exciting when you.
Yeah, and the coach is rewarding him by putting him back in. It's like, hey, you got hand blocked. It came back to you. You maintained focus. You caught it, and you kept playing. Go back in there.
But maybe not all the puzzle pieces are fitting in for Wentworth here in this game. But I really love to see the fundamentals that they're building.
I just love to see, on this stage when you get new players, and you can usually tell if you have a little bit of experience, you can tell who the new players are, and just sharing that joy of Ultimate with the next generation, getting these your players in, and such a good atmosphere, such a good time. And I love seeing new players play because you can see the confidence build. They make that one throw that connects, and it's like all of a sudden they're hooked. No one apparently wants to pick up the disc. Oh, looks like UVM's coming in their own zone. Oh, nicely done breaking that cup. Double team called. They back off.
Look like they just wanted nothing to do with that cup.
Yeah.
And wanted to get the disc as far down, but really good job by UVM's defense.
Oh, and UVM's countering into a point.
Really nice.
Oops, wrong one.
It looks like. Yeah, it looks like from all wanting to try a bit of that zone themselves, and really good initial throw there from Wentworth, but it looked like the middle handler really wanted nothing to do with all those defenders. And
and like I said, that's with you get some new players in, and that kind of what you see. And having said that, the only way you get better is by doing that. Getting the disc, making throws, and making throws that maybe are a little bit of a challenge for you. If you don't make them in the game, you're not going to get better at them. So that's what you need. You need to hammer on the new players. Hey, keep making that throw. It's gonna come. It's gonna come.
Yeah, and that initial throw off the sideline was a good zone buster.
It was a great break force throw. And that in itself may have thrown Wentworth off, is that UVM hasn't played zone all game, and all of a sudden they come down and it's zone. UVM pulling. Always catch the pull if you can.
Wentworth opting to catch that pull. It looks like coming back in that zone. Wonder if they'll stay in zone for the rest of the game, maybe to give that zone a little bit of an extra defense.
A little over the top works. Oh, that's a little bit excitable.
A little too much sauce on that throw.
That was, there's an open throw there. A little over the top scuba or small hammer, that lane was wide open. The backhand straight across gets it there.
Looks like Wentworth opted for a 2-4-1. It looks like the throw here on the near sideline, opting instead to go.
Stay with.
Really good adjustment there on the near side handler to stick with that, and to throw that break backhand.
Oh, almost got the field goal on that one.
Goaltender's best friend. Hits it off the South Portland Riots goal post, and Vermont will take over on offense.
Looks like they're trying to get back into that zone.
Looks like they've opted to go for a 2-4-1 to a 4-2-1.
That is what we call a hospital pass.
Yep.
Turnover by UVM. Wentworth put the disc in play. You can't stand over it. You can't call a double team, however. That was a veteran move right there. You call the double team, you get it. As soon as they back off, you quickly tap the disc in and move. That is a veteran move right there. Nice wing cut up the sideline.
I think if Heedle just dumps it back to...
Great concentration by number 12.
Really good.
Attempted layout D. But he was being smart and being careful and not trying to wipe the guy out, which is always appreciated.
Really nice movement there by Wentworth to bust that zone, especially here on the near sideline. We could see that near handler being really patient, waiting, not touching the disc, calling the double team, getting everyone to back off.
Well, and you saw on that play a couple different times that really trying to get it across the field to make that cup run all the way across the field and make the zone adjust behind it. And what they did, so one time they got it clear across the field. Another time they got it back to the middle handler, and that wing defender in the zone was baiting that throw, and so he holstered it instead of continuing across the field and getting it D'd. He held onto it, moved it back, cut through the middle of the cup, and pretty much shredded that zone.
So with a little under 10 minutes remaining in the game, looks like Wentworth will try and make this a little more competitive game. But really nice work from both sides here in this contest.
Well, it's going to depend on, does UVM try and play keep away to waste the rest of the time, or do they go, metaphorically for the throat and try and end this game?
Really nice pull here by Wentworth, fielded by the Catamounts. They'll take over on offense. They're setting up in that line. And they're putting up. That is a real
up the sideline.
That was a really nice put up the sideline.
Very, very nicely done.
Just had the right amount of touch. He was able to sit up.
It didn't look like that Wentworth zone on that point was quite set and ready for that point, because they got a couple of quick throws off and everyone was out of position, scrambling to try and get in position, and two people were open deep on one defender, and there's not a lot that lone defender can do in that situation.
No, I think Vermont played that zone busting point pretty much to perfection. Getting that quick throw up to the sideline and then pulling off that quick huck. I mean, there's not a whole lot. There's not a whole lot you can do to counter that.
No, good offense is going to beat a zone defense every time. Oops.
We're not tired at all right now.
All right, so UVM's getting ready to pull to Wentworth. 13-5, about 7.5 minutes left. Sun coming out.
Because it's an
awesome roller.
It's a roller, but again, the potential to taco the disc is still there. I like what I've seen from Wentworth's middle cutters.
They really are showing a lot more patience this half. Oh, except right there. Got a little excited, saw the person deep, and didn't see the under defender.
Looks like that throw just hung up a little bit too long.
Wentworth now in a 2-4-1.
Look at it.
Ish.
Looks like it's a hybrid 2-4-1, 3-3-1 zone here for Wentworth, as UVM will look to work it up the field. Get it up in the middle.
Middle of the field open. Oh, nicely done.
Caught. Works it back here to the near sideline. Work it into the middle. Call call for a couple of UVM cutters ons. Instead, we'll throw it back to 24. We'll work it into the near sideline, back to the middle, to 4, a little give and go action.
Now,
Nice one-handed snag.
Tried with the hard scuba, and he deflected it hard off his head.
It looked like that was straight out of Wentworth defender. That was the interesting throw choice.
Hey, yeah, what did he do to you, man? Why are you throwing it at his head?
Wonder if he saw something potentially we didn't. But regardless, Wentworth has the disc. It's complete to number 29. Good effort there from 24. On the countouts, looked like there was a little bit of stagnation in the middle of the field. Throws behind Ben.
A little bit behind.
Yep. And the countouts will get another opportunity. They look to be relying in as 4 will turf the throw. I think what the Catamounts were working well with on those past couple possessions is the give and go game.
Yeah.
That quick, short passing movement with and in between the handlers.
Yeah, you get a couple of active handlers in that one popper, and then you get some movement. Middle of the field opens up, and all of a sudden you get deep throws available. Oh, deep down the middle. Oh, excellent.
Timed to perfection. You could see there was some discussion between 28 and 29, and they will. And Ben will dump it back here to number 12. And Wentworth I think would do well to float it up toward the sideline.
Oh, that was close. I thought he was in. Oh, try the over the top. And just a little more patience. Pivot around. Use your pivot foot. And that's a point.
As UVM will look to go 70 yards the other way. And swinging in towards the middle of the field.
Got the popper popping in, crashing the cup.
We see a little bit more movement here on UVM's part.
Yeah, UVM's gotten a little bit stagnant. That's going to be short and defended by Wentworth. Right around.
I think telegraph the throw a little bit. UVM.
Well, and he was waiting on the disc to get to him instead of running through the disc.
Just dropped out the back, even though UVM was able to split the lone defender.
A little bit of a loss of focus towards the end of this game by these players. Understandable. It's 3 minutes left. They have been running hard. Oh, that was
good intercept there by the Catamounts. And with under 3 minutes to go, they'll look to put a bow on this game.
High release flick. Oh, couldn't quite climb the ladder.
I like the throw selection.
I've never. The only high release throw I have is a hammer. Well, I guess Goober's technically somewhat high release too. Oh, that's a turnover. That's a turnover. He had it in his hand. He dropped it on the goal line and then picked it back up. That's a turnover.
I think there have been a couple teaching moments in this game because he had that waiting play earlier. I wonder if he was able to get away with the call there.
Ooh. All right, now we're starting to get a little bit more of that UVM movement with the handlers and that popper.
So I think it'll be a teaching moment for Wentworth, maybe to get that top of the cup to crash in when the poppers go.
Yes. And to as soon as you shut that off, get back into your position.
And looked like 29 was able to just walk onto the disc, and so with a minute and 33 seconds to go, it is Wentworth 5, University of Vermont 13 here on the main Ultimate channel. As good movement down in towards the middle. They'll dump it back to a handler.
I'm telling you, 28 has been their most consistent cutter today. Ben has been their most consistent cutter today. He's got excellent hands, excellent change of direction.
And
oh, is he going to get there?
Oh, yes, it will.
We do have a score.
And so with under
Cross field, break force flick.
And so with under 45 seconds to go, Wentworth able to draw within 7.
So that was a much better point by Wentworth, but that could also be a little bit of fatigue on the UVM part, and also we got a big lead. They're not coming back in 1 minute.
True, we could hear some calls from the Wentworth sideline to fit in one more point.
Yep, because you want to get that pull off, because you want to play that one last point, even if you know you're not going to come back. It's more playing time.
And with 3 seconds to go, they're able to get the pull off.
I think I just have to do that. Okay, good.
And
I'm smart.
And we have bonus ultimate here.
That's right. So Wentworth went back into their person defense. UVM working the disc, middle of the field.
Yep. I think just to be able to play nice technical ultimate this last point.
That was good anticipation, because UVM saw his offensive person breaking free. Just a little bit of a low throw, a little bit of a tough catch.
Wentworth trying to end on a high note here. With the, beautiful spot, but just a little bit high and a little bit too much, as we said earlier, mustard on that one. You know, I did like the cut. You had the two middle cutters to clear out.
And back for the long point score, and we have game. UVM wins 14-6 over Wentworth. All right. An exciting game. Wentworth really hung in there in the first half, but the second half they just ran. You know, they got tired, and the zone was figured out by that UVM.
And I think Vermont did a really good job adjusting to that zone, because it looked like they were a bit hesitant, a little more stagnant in that first half. But in the second half, you saw a couple more chances. You saw the cutters have more vertical action as opposed to horizontal action.
Yes, it was very nicely done. Now, for those of you watching on the stream channel, you're going to have to tune to the next YouTube stream to see the next game coming up very shortly.
It's in the description.
Oh.
Sorry?
It's in the description. In the description.
Oh, the YouTube channel in the description.
So you will want to switch over to that second, or is it third? Is it? So you will want to click on the second link in the description.
It's the first one.
See, we're smart sometimes.